Well, basically, the idea with love metal was to rip off as many idols as we could. So basically, the album starts out with a track called "Buried Alive by Love," and it's clearly influenced by "Search and Destroy" by Iggy Pop and the Stooges from Raw Power. So like that youthful, animalistic energy, which has been lacking from a couple of things we've done in the past. So that was basically the idea, sort of like not to hide our influences, sort of like create an album which would be like hats off to Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, Iggy, Cat Stevens, Neil Young, all those people. You know, there's like a couple of Black Sabbath riffs in there. You could clearly know that that's from Black Sabbath. So basically, just so basically, what it means is that we're really lazy. We're just stealing bits and pieces of people and get money for it. So that's excellent. That's the way to go. I'd say that but for us, you know, I've got to say, you know, because you know, the record company, they have like behind this wall there's like shotguns and all that bullshit. If I don't sort of like say that the album's beautiful and everybody should buy it, you know, it's the definitive hymn album. It's the best, you know, in the world. It's the best album of 2003. But I'd say that it's a great introduction of to you know, popular music. You know, if you don't have the money to buy all the Black Sabbath albums, every Elvis Presley album, all the Cat Stevens, Neil Young, Iggy Pop, 80s stuff like Wasp, Twisted Sister, Iron Maiden, all that, it's all in there. So if you just have the money for one CD, you want to know, like Alien, like E.T. E.T. want to know what, you know, rock music is, I definitely think that, you know, it'd be best to give E.T. our album, because it's sort of like, it's loose, it's fun. It's aggressive in a sentimental way, melancholic, and it has, you know, it has plenty of like sort of like the all sides of what popular music is all about. It's poppy, it's heavy, it's dumb, it's intelligent, it's black. New ones, it's a lot more organic, but so like that was the idea also, because you know we've been touring a lot with the same lineup. And we know each other pretty well, you know, as a band, and we know, you know, how things can work out. And you know, I want to have that sort of situation where a drummer is sort of like fighting against the bass player, and the bass player says, "Fuck off, you know, I'm playing this thing, you know, here," and you know, get that sort of like that clash happening. And well, that was the idea, just, you know, be a lot more dynamic than in the past, you know, being able to sort of like be able to go to really tiny, quiet, atmospheric pieces in a song, and in the same song, just being able to sort of like, you know, do the AC/DC thing. The recording is always different. It's always different when it comes to albums. You know, the first album we did, Greatest Love Songs Volume 666, that was like done in 15 days. We didn't have a clue what's going to happen. And Healy, who produced the new album, he was doing that as well. And then we did Razorblade Romance in about 25 days in Wales, and had loads of stress on us, you know, because we knew that we just got to record the album and get it out, because you know, it had been a while since the first one. And the third one was just like our Def Leppard record, you know, we were just in the studio for a long time, and came out to be pretty smooth and pretty sort of like psychedelic as well. But this time around we sort of like looked back and tried to sort of like steal bits and pieces of ourselves. Then what's the good thing about the first album? Well, the fuzzy guitars, and the second one, you know, have that rock and roll feel to it, and sort of like urge, and that organic sound of it. And then from the last one, sort of like, I like the sort of like the melodic aspect on it. It's a lot more, Deep Shadow is a lot more melodic than the ones before. So I'm not trying to pretend to be like Peter Steele or whomever, you know, just trying to be like Roy Orbison or whatever. That was the sort of like main idea. Love metal came from the fascination towards a band called Venom, who had black metal in like 80 something, and Motorhead, they had rock and roll. And when we started out with the band, it was like 96 or whatever, 94. We started to call ourselves like love metal, because people had these sort of like they had a hard time trying to categorize what we did. So we just like a tongue-in-cheek sort of thing, just as a joke, invented the term, and it's been sort of like, it's been there all the time. People tend to ask, they've been asking, like journalists for years, what's love metal? And we thought that, you know, it's a boring question, we don't want to answer it. So we decided that, you know, next time somebody asks what's love metal, we can give him or her the album. So probably the next album was going to be called, you know, How Old Are You? Or something like that. And we could just play the album called How Old Are You, you know. That's what we do. Try to eliminate, you know, sort of like stupid questions. We're sort of like going back, basically, you know. So, you know, it took a while for us to sort of like, when we started out, we tried to be sort of like unique and really original in what we did, and then things happened, and now it's sort of like, it's a lot more laid back. We just do the music we play, and we have a good time while doing it. You know, that's the way it's supposed to be. So in that sense, we've gone back to the roots, sort of like like a garage band, just playing for fun. You know, drinking beer, you know, having like posters of Led Zeppelin and Black Sabbath all over the walls. You know, that's the main change, I think. And you know, people change. You know, the first album, you know, when we recorded it, I was like 19 or something like that. And they're pretty important years. Now I'm 26, so those are pretty important years in everybody's lives anyway, you know, growing up and all that. So it's hard to say what affected the music and what didn't, so I don't know. It was pretty, actually, there's irony in there. When like German day, Funeral of Hearts, the release date for the single was on the 17th, so sort of whatever, March. We're here in March, yeah. 17th, and that was originally supposed to be the first day of the attack from the US to there somewhere, and yeah, it's pretty weird having a track called Funeral of Hearts happen at the same time. Well, it's just it's a song about the. It's like a Roy Orbison sort of like meets, you know, Simon and Garfunkel meets Megadeth sort of a thing, and it's just about the fact that, you know, you should be able to celebrate, you know, what you've had. You know, even though things might end, you know, like funerals in general. You know, I hate the priest. You know, I hate this sort of like situation where the priest is trying to make everybody weep. You know, for me, you know, when I went to my grandmother's funeral, it was like I just smelled the pancakes she made. I remember the scent of the cigarette she smoked, and the sound of the slippers on the floor, and all the good things. And that's about what Funeral of Hearts is about. You know, all things come to an end eventually, anyway, and you should be able to celebrate that rather than just trying to be gloomy and use black lipstick. Yeah, that was the idea behind the song. Well, video sort of like thing happened that we were back at BMG office here in Helsinki, and we're checking out all the show reels from all the directors, mostly Finnish ones, and they were all bullshit because loads of people tried to sort of like just copy what's happening in America or whatever, but they don't do it, you know, as good as the inventors of that certain style, and we thought that we wanted to see something different. You know, when you're checking out television, there's loads of videos like with like black girls shaking their greased buttocks, you know, on the screen or whatever, and that's beautiful. That's beautiful. But if you see that stuff like 20 hours in a row, that it's a bit boring. So we tried to, with the whole visual idea, to create something totally different. And Stefan Lindfors, the director, he was able to do it because he's mad, and we're mad too. So it was marriage made in heaven, or something like that. He was the one who came up with all the crazy ideas with the 3 80-year-old naked men painted golden in the forest, you know, minus like 25, throwing like snow on themselves and all that. So he's pretty perverted as an individual, but that's what we like. Well, yeah, sure. We talked about the entire thing with the video. We were sort of like he came up with like loads of ideas that didn't make it on tape, and you know, he's a different personality. He doesn't know our band so well. He doesn't know all the stuff we've done in the past, and there's a couple of things which are, you know, no. So, but not much, you know. I think that was one of the easiest videos to do because of the sake as well that he's from Helsinki, so we were able to meet before, like, because we were like on like a couple of videos early on, they were like done that we just like emailed to a director sending us a storyboard or whatever, and we just like paid him like £100,000 and just went into London and shot a video, you know, without knowing what's going to happen. And I'd say that that's a waste of money, but we've been pretty lucky, you know, so no disasters yet, you know, it's excellent. Well, I met Bam in Garage in London, the club. We played a gig, and he'd already been to Amsterdam to see us live, but we didn't meet there, you know. It was that was like a 2000, and he just because he's a professional skateboarder, so he's doing these skate demos around the world at skate halls and skate parks and all that. And he came to Finland and he saw my face in every fucking magazine when Razorblade had come out. And he bought the album and fell in love with that and started sort of like travel around to see us live. And then we met in London, and we'd been sort of like, after that we'd been like drinking buddies and like good friends for, you know, the last 2 years. And we're completely wasted here in Helsinki, and it was like, hey, Bam, just really love to, you know, do a video for us, direct a video for us. And he was like, yeah, sure. And I thought that nothing's going to happen. But then when we flew over to Los Angeles to mix Love Metal, he just called us up and said, yeah, we're going to shoot the video in 2 weeks, you know. It's all set up. Is it okay that Juliet Lewis is going to be on that video? And I was like, well, you know, yeah, sure. So it was really simple. It was really simple. He's sort of like, it's nice in a way because he knows our band really well. He's seen loads of gigs and he loves what we do, so it was really easy for him to sort of like direct us, you know, find the right angles for gas, which is not the easiest person to shoot, you know, because of this, you know, manly figure.